Your dog already knew you were awake before you moved. Before your eyes opened. Before the blanket shifted. Before you even reached for your phone. Somehow, in the dark, they sensed it. And now they are staring at you from the edge of the bed with that strange expression dogs get at 3 a.m., alert, soft, emotionally focused, like your existence is the most important thing in their universe. Most people think they understand what's happening here. Your dog loves you. Simple. But behavioral neuroscience tells a completely different story. Because your dog may not actually experience you as human in the way humans experience each other at all. And what your dog is doing right now may be one of the most psychologically unusual relationships ever documented between two different species. Not owner and pet. Not master and animal. Something much deeper. And most dog owners have absolutely no idea. Let's start with the obvious theory, because honestly, it sounds reasonable. Dogs know humans are humans. Obviously. You walk differently. Smell different. Look different. Sound different. So naturally, your dog must mentally categorize you the same way you categorize yourself. Human. But here's the problem. Dog cognition researchers discovered something strange when studying canine social attachment. Dogs don't interact with humans the way they interact with other dogs. And they also don't interact with humans the way humans interact with each other. It's something in between. Something entirely unique. Think about your dog for a second. Your dog has access to comfortable places all over your house. A couch. A sunny patch near the window. Their own bed. Cool kitchen floors. A pile of laundry that somehow became emotionally sacred. And yet, they still choose to follow you into the bathroom. Sleep beside your legs. Wait outside closed doors. Monitor your movement from room to room like tiny emotionally invested security guards. If survival alone explained the behavior, they wouldn't need this much proximity. So why do they keep choosing you? And this is where dog psychology gets incredibly deep. Because your dog may not see you as another animal living in the house. They may experience you more like an emotional regulation system. A source of neurological safety. A living attachment figure. And honestly, that changes the relationship completely. In 2013, researchers at the University of Veterinary Medicine Vienna conducted one of the most influential canine attachment studies ever published. The researchers adapted something called the strange situation test. Originally, this experiment was designed to study emotional attachment between infants and parents. Researchers placed dogs into unfamiliar rooms and observed their behavior while owners entered and exited the environment. And what they found was extraordinary. Dogs consistently used owners as what psychologists call a secure base. When owners were present, exploration increased. Stress behaviors dropped. Confidence improved. And social curiosity increased dramatically. But when owners disappeared, many dogs immediately showed distress signals. Pacing. Whining. Door monitoring. Hypervigilance. And proximity-seeking behavior upon reunion. Later studies from Eötvös Loránd University in Hungary found over 60% of dogs displayed attachment patterns strikingly similar to human toddlers. Not wolves. Toddlers. And this is where it gets profound. Because attachment psychology only develops when a brain identifies another individual as emotionally protective. When your dog follows you from room to room. When they relax the second you come home. When they sleep pressed against your legs despite having an entire couch available. They are performing one of the most fundamental behaviors in attachment psychology. Maintaining contact with a perceived safety figure. They are not being clingy. They are telling you, my nervous system functions differently when you're near me. And honestly, once you understand that, your dog's behavior stops feeling random. It starts feeling emotional. But here's where it gets really interesting. Because this isn't just psychology. It's chemistry. In 2015, researchers from Asabu University and the University of Tokyo published a groundbreaking study examining oxytocin exchange between dogs and humans. Oxytocin is often called the bonding hormone. It's associated with trust, attachment, emotional safety, and nervous system calming. Researchers measured oxytocin levels before and after interaction between dogs and owners. And what they found shocked scientists. When dogs and humans shared affectionate interaction, especially prolonged eye contact, oxytocin increased in both species. Not just humans. Both. Your dog's brain was biologically responding to emotional connection with you. And then something even stranger happened. As oxytocin increased in humans, owners became more affectionate toward their dogs, which increased oxytocin levels in the dogs even further. A feedback loop. An emotional system reinforcing attachment in both directions simultaneously. And here's the remarkable part. Wolves raised by humans did not show the same response. This only happens in domesticated dogs. Meaning this neurochemical attachment system specifically co-evolved between dogs and humans over thousands of years. No other animal relationship works quite like this. Not cats. Not wolves. Not primates. This only happens here. Between your species and theirs. Now think about what happens during something as simple as your dog resting their head on your chest for 20 minutes while you scroll your phone at night. Physical contact. Eye monitoring. Breathing synchronization. Body warmth. Scent exposure. All things deeply associated with oxytocin release and cortisol reduction. Researchers from Claremont Graduate University found interaction with bonded dogs significantly lowered human cortisol levels, the body's primary stress hormone. Scientists now believe dogs may experience similar nervous system regulation during prolonged social contact with humans. Meaning your dog doesn't simply like being near you. Their brain may literally stabilize around you biologically. Not metaphorically. Neurologically. So when did this begin? The answer is basically from the beginning. Long before cities. Before agriculture. Before written language. Roughly 15,000 years ago, wolves began approaching early human campsites. Not aggressive wolves. The calmer ones. The socially tolerant ones. The wolves capable of reading emotional cues and remaining relaxed near humans gained access to food and protection. Over generations, humans unintentionally selected for hypersocial behavior. Eventually, wolves became dogs. But dogs evolved something extraordinary. The ability to emotionally synchronize with humans. Modern genetic studies published through institutions including Princeton University found domestic dogs carry genetic variations associated with hypersocial attachment and increased responsiveness to social bonding cues. Some researchers even compared certain canine genetic traits to social behavior conditions studied in humans. In other words, dogs evolved to emotionally track us, to study our expressions, to monitor our movement, to sleep near us, to panic when separated from us. And this is where it gets deep. Because your dog may not mentally classify you as human in the abstract intellectual way humans categorize species. Your dog experiences you emotionally. As protector, companion, secure base, social partner, family. Archaeological evidence supports this too. A 14,000-year-old burial discovered in Bonn-Oberkassel, Germany revealed humans buried beside a dog that survived severe illness through prolonged human care. These weren't just useful animals. They were emotionally valued companions. Family members. Which means your dog sleeping beside you tonight is not modern behavior. It's ancient attachment biology continuing into the present day. Now, I want to tell you about a study that almost nobody talks about because the findings sound impossible at first. Researchers studying co-sleeping between humans and dogs discovered something fascinating. Objectively, dogs sometimes disrupted human sleep. Movement. Position shifting. Snoring. Taking up unreasonable amounts of mattress despite contributing absolutely nothing to rent. And yet, the overwhelming majority of participants still reported feeling safer and more emotionally comforted sleeping beside their dogs. How is that possible? Because psychological safety often matters more to the brain than physical comfort. Humans evolved sleeping in groups for protection. Your nervous system still associates trusted presence with reduced vulnerability. And your dog may trigger that ancient system automatically. But here's the deeper twist. Dogs appear to experience something similar. Maybe your dog isn't invading your bed because they forgot boundaries. Maybe they are restoring something older than modern human civilization. Shared social sleeping for emotional safety. And honestly, once you see it that way, the behavior stops feeling annoying. It starts feeling ancient. Recent studies in 2023 and 2024 examining canine-human synchronization discovered something even stranger. Researchers measuring heart rate variability, HRV, found bonded dogs and owners often showed synchronized physiological stress patterns during interaction. Their nervous systems were literally influencing each other. But this only happened within bonded pairs. Strangers showed no meaningful synchronization. This only happens when emotional attachment exists. Think about that for a second. Your emotional state affects your dog neurologically. Which means rushed mornings, stressful arguments, sadness, anxiety, even subtle tension your family barely notices, may all be affecting your dog's nervous system in measurable biological ways. Your dog isn't just observing you. They're emotionally calibrating around you and responding with attachment behaviors designed over thousands of years to maintain connection and safety. Sleeping beside your dog isn't just emotionally comforting. It may actually be a shared neurological event. There's one last thing I need to tell you. And honestly, it may be the most important part of this video. If your dog has spent years following you, sleeping near you, monitoring your movement, greeting you intensely, and one day suddenly stops, don't ignore it. Dogs are creatures of emotional routine. When deeply established attachment behaviors disappear overnight, there's usually a reason. Sometimes it's environmental. A move, a breakup, a new pet, a changing schedule. But sometimes it's physical. Pain disorders, sensory decline, neurological problems, cognitive dysfunction. Research estimates canine cognitive decline affects nearly 35% of dogs over age 13. And behavioral withdrawal is often one of the earliest signs. Your dog doesn't have language. Behavior is how they communicate emotional and physical changes. So when emotional connection rituals suddenly disappear, pay attention. Because sometimes distance is the only way your dog knows how to say, something feels wrong. So the next time you wake up at 3 a.m. with exactly 6 inches of mattress left and 80 pounds of dog somehow pressed directly against your spine, remember what may actually be happening. 15,000 years of evolution. A neurochemical attachment system unlike almost any other species relationship on Earth. Ancient wolf social instincts reshaped through domestication. And a nervous system that may genuinely experience you as safety itself. All pointing toward one extraordinary truth. Your dog may not see you as human at all. They may see you as home. And honestly, the science suggests that bond may be changing both of your brains at the same time. If this changed how you see your dog, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. I want to know, what's the weirdest place your dog insists on following you? And if you want to understand why your dog stares at you while you cry, the psychology behind that behavior is even stranger than you think.